to the Best Ball Basement here with Spike Week. I am Erik Beimfohr, and soon to be joined by my good friend Rob Coakley in the basement, where we talk about a lot of nonsense, some food, some hobbies, our favorite athletes of the past, but also we're here to talk about best ball. Today, we're going to break down training camp. It's here. How do we react? The news is already flowing in. What do we do with the news? Who should we be drafting before the news comes in? We're going to talk all of our favorite players and things to do during training camp season. And of course, we're going to pop into a couple drafts. We're going to start on drafters, maybe do a BBM. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if there's enough time. We'll find out here in the basement. Let's do it. Rob, you know StreamYard is fucking up when even the folks in the YouTube chat are like StreamYard issues, probably. But yes, as is normally the case. Nothing too crazy tonight. Just making sure that the audio and everything is working. Last week, I could not get my mic connected to StreamYard for the goddamn life of me, and that does appear to be working. So it's progress. We're crawl. We're not running. We're definitely not even walking yet, but we're crawling here in the basement.
We are definitely getting through it. StreamYard continues to be great. We love you, StreamYard, so much.
We are going to be on StreamYard for $25 off or whatever. I love seeing that when there's an option for anyone that doesn't know this. There's an option when you create your stream in StreamYard or your video to select or unselect. StreamYard has like an affiliate, like a promotion, an affiliate link essentially. And it cracks me up every time I see somebody that like either checks it or forgets to uncheck it. And it's just like, I'm like, it's so fitting for the best ball space of like a promo code for fucking StreamYard in a show.
Yeah, gotta staple that somewhere onto the background of your show. Yeah. So we are going to be talking about some training camp stuff, drafting some teams. All of that is about the future, Erik. But I thought we should start this show traveling to the past real quick because I took a deep dive and I decided to look back into the 2021 NFL season at some of my best ball teams that made the finals, which was the year we both made Best Ball Mania 2 finals. I think that's the one you finished 10th?
8th. Hey, 8th. Get it right.
And you were tied for 8th best ball player in the world.
I was half of the 8th best ball player on the planet in 2021.
And I was the 74th best ball player on the planet that year. But I felt like I've looked at that team before. We've talked about that team. I forgot that I made the Puppy 2 finals that year as well. And I thought it'd be interesting just to quickly show you the roster that made the Puppy 2 final because,
oh man,
buddy, you want to talk about some names? It might as well be 25 years ago for some of these players. It felt like I was like, what is this guy doing on this team? So without further ado, let's look at this roster that I have here. And if you look, our quarterbacks were Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, which is fine. We're starting off great, right? Burrow
the next two I can already see not so great.
Let's go to the running backs, sir, where it's Kenneth Gainwell, Kenyon Drake, Tony Pollard, Chase Edmonds, Antonio Gibson. That's it. There's no more. You're looking.
Holy shit! You only had 5 running backs, and that's the 5.
That's the 5 that I had. That we made the Puppy 2 finals. But wait, there's more.
That was 2nd round Antonio Gibson year, by the way. That was. And brother, did I have a bag of 2nd round Antonio Gibson?
I think we all learned a lesson that year, or should have. Look at these wide receivers. Kadarius Toney on the Giants.
Oh, D. Eskridge.
DeMarcus Robinson, Kansas City. T.Y. Hilton.
Counted in your lineup in the final, by the way, DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah, 10.3. Thanks a lot, DeMarcus Robinson.
What do you mean? That's probably his best game of the season.
Well, you're about to see why I finished 95th in this tournament. T.Y. Hilton, Hollywood Brown, DJ Chark.
Wow.
Debo, T. Higgins, Tyreek Hill,
Gronk
and Goddard. made the team,
Both.
made the
And Tyreek did not.
and Tyreek did not, or T. Higgins.
Wow.
So that's why we kind of got smoked a little bit.
Gibson didn't either.
Yeah, Gibson did nothing. We had to play Tony Pollard 7.3. So yeah, Kenyon Drake.
I don't even remember access? Dude, this is wild. This is an absolute incredible blast from the past.
Yeah.
Can you go to the BBM? I don't remember your BBM team that year. Can you go? I don't remember Pete and I's either. It's under in the BBM finals. Our team is under Pete's.
Yeah. So this is the Best Ball Mania. I titled it
74th got $2,500.
Yeah.
That's like what I got for 12 2 years ago. What the hell?
Right, so we'll look at my team real quick just because it's easy to pull up.
Ryan, wow.
It was Matt Ryan and Mahomes. So Mahomes made the finals on both teams.
Oh my gosh.
JD McKissick. We had David Johnson for some reason.
That's the year they traded DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah. Tony Pollard, Damian Harris, Chase Edmonds. Harris, I thought I was winning the whole thing, by the way, because Harris started that.
He scored
2 immediately. And I was like, we're winning $1 million today.
I remember.
We had Hunter Renfrow. Another DS Eskridge.
I didn't know you were such a DS Eskridge slappy in 2021.
Neither did I. Byron Pringle.
Oh, Jesus. I remember the Pringle stuff. Yep. Henry Ruggs, notably in prison right now and for a long time.
He might have been in prison for this finals, too.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, the RGT says Damian Harris. That year cost me a lot. It was great. I loved the whatever Pete and I won, 10 or 20 grand or whatever it was. Damian Harris scored literally like 1 million touchdowns that season, and I chased that goddamn horse for a long time. And Damian Harris, notably, not playing football anymore. So yeah, that was fun. Odell,
Evans, DK crushed. Imagine if Tyreek did anything for me this week,
dude. Seriously.
And this
Mark
is
Andrews.
That was
the Mark Andrews season. Yeah,
Mark Andrews season. Let's look at. You want to look at you and Pete's team?
Yeah.
So you and Pete had Mac Jones, PU, and Dak Prescott. Sony Michel, who actually hit your lineup.
Slam dunk. That was the Cam Akers. And so this was what made me best ball famous. I'm pretty certain, other than the wide receiver apocalypse year. I went on this show with Pete. We drafted this team, and I was the one that was like pounding that, like, we got to take Sony Michel in the last round. Sony Michel was on the New England Patriots at the time, but the whole kind of fitting. We're in training camp time. This was during the preseason then that it was like I think they're going to cut Sony Michel or trade. They wanted to trade him, but they were probably going to end up cutting him. The Rams had lost Cam Akers that summer to his Achilles tear. And so they were looking for another running back, and Sony Michel was readily available in the 18th round. And I was like, Pete, we got to take Sony Michel. And if you recall, then Darrell Henderson was useless, and Sony Michel was actually the Rams workhorse down the stretch. So you needed Rashad Penny, and we did not have Amon-Ra St. Brown, but Penny and Amon-Ra were kind of like the two linchpins. And I think Chase, right? Jamar Chase. So we had those guys. We just didn't have Amon-Ra, but Sony Michel was like really close to shipping a lot of money for us that year.
This was the year you drafted Raheem Mostert as your first running back, and he immediately went on
in the first quarter of week 1.
You're the one with MVS on your team, by the way.
Yeah. Rondale.
Rondale Moore. I can't even believe Rondale Moore is playing that far back.
This was 2-3 turn. Yeah. We took Chase at the 4-5. This was 4-5 turn. Chase, CD. We pulled up Devontae. We got roasted on this stream. I'll never forget it. Because this was the year Aaron Rodgers was like not sure if he was going to continue playing.
Yeah.
Remember, he was like holding out, or like, am I going to retire? He was doing the Aaron Rodgers shit right early in the summer. So Devontae was a second round pick to start because people didn't know if Rodgers was going to play. We pulled up Devontae to the 101 in this draft, and people were like, all these other people got Devontae in the second round, you donkeys, how could you dare, do this or whatever? And we were doing the unique combination thing. We took him with CeeDee and Keenan at the 2-3 turn, and it worked, by the way. Spoiler for all those people. It worked quite well. But yeah, that's where MVS came in. We were, dude, 2021, we were still secondary stacking Packers and all that kind of stuff. We were still in our bag 4 years ago.
Hunter Henry, Kyle Pitts,
4-5 turn, Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts batted 500 there at that turn. Kyle Pitts caught like a 60-yard pass, but pulled his hammy in the Week 17 game. We also used Michael Gallup's score. He caught a touchdown in the second quarter and tore his ACL on that catch. So like we were like real similar to like you if you got anything from Tyreek, right?
Yeah.
Or D. Eskridge, of course. If you got anything from D. Eskridge, you were really, really close. We were like we only got a quarter out of Pitts and a half out of Michael Gallup, and they still hit our lineups.
D. Eskridge, man. What a name.
That's so funny.
What a name. What was I doing drafting D. Eskridge? Not even as stacks for Seattle at the time. That still might have been the Russell Wilson years.
That was Russell Wilson. They took him in the second round, right? D. Eskridge.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they drafted him in the second round that year. Yeah, 2021 second round pick, D. Eskridge. So this is pre-JSN. This is Lockett, Metcalf, and we were like, well, shit. They took D. Eskridge in the second round. Like, he's got to be something. Spoiler. No. He was not. He was not anything. He's not in the NFL anymore, is he?
I also made the BBM finals off 47 entries and the Puppy 2 finals off 3 entries in that tournament.
Man.
So, good times. Good times.
Yeah, we drafted Kyle Pitts in the only year that it was like somewhat acceptable to draft Kyle Pitts. He had 1,000 yards.
So, I thought jumping down memory lane was going to be a little fun for those teams, because you could have told me some of those players haven't played in 15 years and I would have been like,
dude,
sure, absolutely.
You ain't kidding. We're going to talk a little training camp, but we're also going to draft a team while we do it. I'm popping into the drafters $20 main event. Looks like we only need 4. So 4 of you sickos want to join and hang out in this draft while we talk a little training camp after memory lane there. A ton of fun, man. Those were the real this is great from Chris. Real ghost stories there. D. Eskridge, you should do, you guys, hometown ghost stories. The D. Eskridge edition would probably be
the NFL edition.
Yeah, exactly. Man, yeah, those were the days, dude. 2021 was probably one of my favorite. Yeah, I mean, that's when this all started. Spike Week kind of all started, and like the whole best ball like content space really started to take off that year. That was the late summer of 2021 was when things really took off, and that was so much fun, and it's so hilarious to look back on the teams. Like, we love to talk about like, our W's, and certainly we take our L's too, but you look back and you're just like, that team made the finals. Like, your Puppy 2 team is the most hilarious team I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, you look at those running backs and you're like, how did he score any running back points all season, nonetheless make the finals of a best ball tournament? It's great to reminisce a little bit.
So those are the situations that, like, I'd love to go back and just be able to observe myself and my thought process of drafting those teams. And I probably am, I am definitely a better drafter now, but I probably don't draft that particular team, and I probably don't make the finals, right? Like, knowing the stuff I know now. I mean, I think if we were able to travel back to 2021, knowing what we know without knowing what was going to happen in the season, but just like knowing how to construct teams and stuff,
right,
we would crush in 2021. But that particular case, I think it would work against me, maybe in a single one-off case versus a team that already made the finals. But just always, it's always interesting to go back and just reflect on how you've played in the past. I still reflect on poker. Like, I remember my first live the first time I ever played live poker in a casino and got dealt aces. I still remember that hand and how bad I played it. And like there was a raise, call. There was 3 calls on top of a raise, and I flatted. Like
Really?
with aces. Dude, I was in a casino. I was nervous. I hadn't like
I was gonna say you had to be nervous, yeah.
Yeah, like I knew how to play, but I was like, I had never like I played like home games, but I had never played.
I was gonna say you played online and you played home games, and it's just like you're in your element, and
Yeah, and then got lucky that the button tried to make a squeeze play, and then that's when I came over the top, and it worked out. But I look back on it, and I'm like, what an idiot! Like, what a terrible play that was at that point in time. So always good to reflect on that stuff.
D. Russ says my first year was 2022. I had 19 total teams, and the best one had Elijah Mitchell, RB1, which was the Elijah Mitchell break the Trey Sermon year? Holy hell, this is a Amon-Ra at the 4. That's interesting. I'm just taking bags of Puka. We don't got to dive into the strategy of the draft. It's more for vibes, but you're welcome to the 107 who probably was very excited to get Bijan, and the 108 who's about to get Saquon at 108. I am interested. I find the front end of the draft interesting lately with some of the movement. I mean, obviously Chase, Jefferson are relatively 1-2 now, but oh man, more like drafting Ray McLeod. I think Wandale is being generous.
Yeah, dude, it was not. I look back
funny.
and I'm just like, what?
Don't we all? We have all. I just told this very similar, but I'll never forget. It truly triggers me to this day. So I played 5 years of college football. So I always my senior versus super senior year. My super senior year, I went to a school that was like just a kind of a mediocre football team for like all of its existence, and we kind of started to turn things around. My coach was awesome. He was super successful coach, and got the program going in the right direction. They're like amazing now. One of the kids is in Chargers camp from my school, D3 kid. And so anyway, we never won a conference championship at Illinois College, and we were in like week 9 or something like that. 3 games to go. If we won out, we would win the conference championship because we had the tiebreakers over the other team. And we played a lot of cover 2, and I was playing safety. And they're running 4 verts, but one of the guys runs up the seam, right? Cover 2, they don't just run at the safeties. One of the guys sits, the other slot receiver runs up the seam. I read it perfect. This is like it's like middle school shit. Like they're running 4 verts. You try to split the safeties, easy, right? Read the quarterback, no big deal. This is the easiest interception of my entire fucking life. Break on it, perfect. Go to rise up, right through my hands into his, and the other safety took the other outside go route, and so it goes right through my hands, right into this kid, into his bread basket, and he takes it like 65 yards for a touchdown. And now it didn't end up being the reason that we lost. That's the only like saving grace that helps me feel a little bit better. But like in the moment, I'm like, I just lost us the conference. I just lost us the conference championship, and like I did everything perfect except I dropped the fucking ball. And like it was, dude, it's still to this day like similar. Like I remember the moment. I remember like sitting there and watching him run. Like being on the field and you're just like watching this dude run to the end zone. Absolutely miserable. No, I'm not doing Derrick Henry for anybody that wants to know. Not on stream.
Moving up too. Not on stream.
I might have taken him at home with nobody watching, but not on stream.
I mean, at least you're consistent. It looks like you have 1% ownership on Derrick.
Yeah, I have taken him. 10%. Look at that. I can't take him. I have 10% of Derrick Henry with who is this? Garrett Wilson Garrett Wilson. 10% of Derrick Henry with Garrett Wilson. Unacceptable. Let's wait. That's it. I have 1% Derrick Henry, and 10% of my Garrett Wilson teams have Derrick Henry.
Do you remember the hardest you ever got hit playing football?
Yep, 7th grade.
Mine
in East St. Louis.
Mine's also
in East St. Louis. It was the moment. Literally, I remember laying there and not being able to breathe. You know, it's when you get like the first time I ever got the wind knocked out of me playing football, and you like feel like you're about to die.
Mm-hmm.
And my coaches and then my dad was on the sideline too, and he comes over and he's like, "Are you okay?" And like, I can't breathe, but I'm going like, "Yeah, like I'm okay." And he always like, still to this day, you know, I'm 37 years old, and he's like, "That's the moment I knew you were gonna play. You're like gonna actually play football and take it serious." Because I picked off a pass. We're playing against East St. Louis, and for anybody that knows anything about East St. Louis, they're very good at football, and they're also very tough. And I was a white kid from the burbs, so this was an interesting environment for me in my first season playing football. I started in 7th grade, and I pick off a pass. I'm taking it off down the sideline. My first interception. You know, you're like, I'm going to take this to the house. I didn't see the quarterback out of the corner of my eye, and he is at a full fucking sprint, and I am a sitting duck running down the sideline, and he could have decapitated me. Like I got, you know, one of those, like you get hit and like the ball goes flying and like your limbs are all, I flew almost onto the track. We're playing at the high school. He hit me so far, I almost slid all the way onto the track, and I can't breathe. And I'm like I thought I was about to die. And I truly remember that moment. One of the football moments that I remember to this day. Like I thought it was over. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can play this sport anymore. But yeah, toughen me up for sure.
Oh, you're real low on Chase Brown.
I'm going to do Chase Brown, actually. Yeah, I like this better. Garrett Wilson. Instead of Derrick Henry, get a little Chase Brown.
Yeah. So there was one game, also 7th grade. This is when I was playing quarterback, that I took a hit early in the game where it was like a movie hit. And even my big brother, he was my stepbrother, but he looked back at my mom after I took this hit because he thought I was dead. So I got hit from the front in my legs and in my head, and I got hit from behind in my back at the same time. But it didn't hurt. Like it didn't, like it must have just like everything lined up perfectly. So that one didn't hurt. Later in the game, I had this dude, his name was Steve Smith, not the NFL player. But he came up the middle from middle linebacker and just destroyed me. Like just absolutely wrecked me. I didn't fumble, but it was, much like you said, it was the first time that I ever saw stars, and I definitely had a concussion. I look back at it, I'm like, I was concussed out of my mind after this play. And I just was like, yep, good to go. Gonna keep playing.
Yep. So I just got two quick ones. One, the hardest hit I suffered in high school was we played against one of our conference schools, and a kid that went there. He ended up playing for the Denver Broncos. He went to Mizzou as an offensive lineman, and he got a cup of coffee with the Denver Broncos just a couple of years, like as a practice squad, and then like a couple of games sort of. But like big, huge, well-known, like huge, like 6'4", 285, but like straight roid. Like it was all roids. And he only played offense in high school except when the playoffs came around. So we're playing them in the playoffs. I'm playing quarterback. I couldn't throw for shit, but I was like athletic and could run. So I'm scrambling out to our sideline to the left, and nobody's open. And like I said, I can't throw for shit anyway. So I didn't, what the hell? I was just sitting again, a sitting duck, except I'm 150 pounds and there's this 300-pound roided out behemoth chasing me down because he was playing middle fucking linebacker at that size in high school. And same thing. He hits me and I'm like, you know, it's like I'm a ragdoll to him. The dude benches like 500 pounds or whatever. I'm nothing. And I hit the ground, and it's one of those, you know, we played on a grass field, and like all your face mask is just like covered in grass and everything. And my dad was one of my high school football coaches, and he's just standing there, and same thing. He goes, "You all right? You all right?" You know, he just does this like lazy, like, yeah, you know, like very, "You all right?" I'm 2 feet away from him. I'm like, You just watched me fly through the fucking air, and all your responses to your son is like, "You all right?" And I'm like, it took me, and like say for us, the quarterback, like we went and got the play from the coach, and you ran it back out, and I was like, and like same thing, I'm seeing stars, and I just looking at him, and he like comes off and gets the shit out of my out of my face mask and just like pats me on the ass and all right, fucking get back out there. No big deal. And then same thing in college. I mentioned we played a lot of cover 2. We're in a 2-minute drill and a team tried to run up the seam, but the quarterback underthrew it.
Yeah.
So me and the other safety are coming to hit this guy and he slides down because it's underthrown. And we absolutely smoke each other head to head, helmet to helmet. Me and the other safety just destroy each other.
Oh.
And I'm getting up and saying, like, dude, I had no idea where I was. And I'm like, whatever. The trainer calls me over and they did the old school concussion test for anyone that doesn't know.
The Snickers commercial.
you learn. He walks up and like he saw me because like he caught the pass. So we have more plays to run, and it's a 2-minute drill. I can't like run off the field, and I don't know where the fuck I was. And so I'm lined up. We were 12 yards deep was our safety alignment. I was 7 yards deep. I basically was like touching the linebacker, and so everybody's looking at me like, "What is he doing? What is this guy doing?" But I didn't know where the fuck I was. They didn't throw towards me. That's how bad this team that we were playing was. They don't score. I come off, and the trainer's like, same thing. You all right? And I'm like, no. And he's like, they give you 3 words to remember. This is it. He doesn't shine light in my eyes. He doesn't do anything. Remember these 3 words. Gives me the 3 words. After halftime, we come back out onto the field. He asked me the 3 words. I repeat them. He's like, all right, you're good. Like I was out, brother. Like I didn't know where the fuck I was. And this is an interesting Rushy price, but on drafters, I don't think I can do it.
Drafters is tough with Rushy right now.
Yeah, I'll do Zay. But yeah, oh man, some of those, the old days of like the safety stuff was what I remember that one of like, just remember these 3 words. I'm like, dude, like I was beyond concussed. Like I would have missed multiple weeks in today's, and I didn't miss a snap, not one snap. I didn't miss.
This is a great K Sizzle says that his high school football highlight is hitting Hines Ward as hard as he could, and he just got up smiling.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That sounds very Hines Ward, by the way.
I have one last high school football story, and then we'll move off this, but because we need to get to some real questions.
Yes.
So my 9th grade year, we had 2 players. I was still in Mississippi at the time. We had 2 players that I thought had a chance of making the NFL. Our quarterback was really good. He could run a 4.3. And he was nasty. And we had a 6'5", I think he was 6'4" or 6'5", wide receiver that also could run a 4.3. And I've never seen anyone have natural talent like this guy. So they both went to Mississippi State on scholarship, and they never made it to the NFL. The internet wasn't as prevalent in 2003. Yeah. It was there, but you couldn't find stuff like you could. This past year, in September, we just went down to New Orleans, and one of my friends from school came to record for us, and we're reminiscing about football because we were both on the football team. I said, whatever happened to, I won't say his name because you'll know why in a second. So I'm like, I always thought he was going to go to the NFL. He goes, oh, well, let me tell you what happened to him. He goes, he went to Mississippi State. He was working at Walmart on the side for a job while on the football team. And one night at work, he decided to follow a couple home and commit armed robbery on them and tie them up and duct tape them. And
holy shit.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what? So that happened.
Holy shit, man. Not the same thing. I know, story time. We'll get off of it. But there was just another local, like probably the best athlete my sophomore year of high school. He was a senior. He was a year older. Anyway, was like probably the best athlete. And I think he was going to Illinois to play football, but he was also like an all-state basketball player. He was insane. And same thing. He shot somebody. I don't think he killed him, but he shot somebody when he was a senior in high school. And it's like, yeah, I was like, that dude's going to the NFL or the NBA or something. I was like, he was the best athlete I've seen. And sad times. Shout out Devin. Since this is a wholesome story time, I just want to say I fucking love you. I fucking love and appreciate you guys being in the space. We appreciate you. This is what we're here to do. The Monday night show is we are going to talk. I promise we're going to talk about some of the training camp stuff, but this is a very vibes based show. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna have a good time, just like we're sitting in a basement. I technically am sitting in a basement, just not the same basement as Rob or as you guys.
Ford Best Ball wants to know, can I ask why not Hurts in the 4th round? Just does an elite quarterback save you a draft spot because you take 2 QBs? Sure, I think it would have been fine to take Jalen Hurts there as well. The problem with the spot that Eric's on the board is like, I still think it's fine. You can take Hurts there. And I think it makes more sense, especially if he didn't take Chase Brown at that spot, but he's probably not getting Devonta Smith to fall back here either. So you are pretty much relying on Shipley combos and Goddard combos, which are perfectly fine. I still would take it. It's just you vary it up sometimes. Like sometimes I click DJ Moore there, sometimes I click Jalen Hurts there.
Yep, 100%. I'm trying to limit the amount of times I take Jalen Hurts without AJ Brown or Devonta Smith, and he just wasn't gonna. I mean, I guess it's technically possible he went at 52, but this was a little bit like Kamara went in front of him, Waddle went in front of him. Sometimes James Cook doesn't even go in front of Devonta Smith, and so I'm generally not. It's not the worst, but I the peak upside scenario for drafting Jalen Hurts in the 4th round is him passing more.
Yeah,
it's not just Jalen Hurts doing that, and which means I would like one of those 2 pass catchers. Not like Dallas Goedert's like fine, but it's not ideal.
All right, back on the clock here. Does a Fields team?
Let's do a Fields team. I have 2% Justin Fields. I don't love this, but it's okay. I don't love a lot of things that have happened on this team. So
the other thing with the Jalen Hurts thing is like you do add a wide receiver back into the player pool to help be able to push Devonta Smith a little bit. But if you look after Swift goes, it goes after
he went 2 spots before me. So technically it would be possible. But like I said, again, Waddle's ADP is after Devonta Smith. Kamara's ADP is after. So it was already a little bit of a miracle that he got to 52, which again, it's fine to take him. I've drafted a ton of Jalen Hurts. Just this team, I think. I don't have a shit ton of DJ Moore. And so get a little, kind of a little bit of a different blend of guys. Obviously I'm not taking much Chase Brown. So I'm down to get a little bit of a different combination of guys here.
Self's asking if anyone's going to start drafting around the clock, and I have a plan for something. We won't reveal it right now. But
yeah. Oh man!
But it makes sense to what you said.
Yes, it does. It's very fitting. I also don't know how the fuck you're going to do that, but I can't wait to see.
Yeah. Well, we got to figure out the date on that.
Yeah, Devin says that concussion test makes no sense. You're fucking telling me I went through it and then I went back out on the field and probably should have goddamn died playing Division III college football. That's how much we cared about the safety back. And it wasn't anybody's fault. It's wild how different. That was 2010. Yeah, 2010. So like it's not that long ago, but it's like so it was a different sport. We were just playing a different game 15 years ago.
Yeah. It was very different back then.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be that guy, I promise, but I'm just saying it really was a lot. Like it
wasn't just for the better. We're not being the guys that was for the better.
No. But not just for our experiences. This is an Aaron Jones team too. Oh, I'm getting a lot of guys I don't really draft here. But also, like being serious, it's a little bit like relevant to some of the stuff that we talk about, where like football changes a lot over the course of the years. And I don't mean just like that safety stuff, but the sport was different back then, right? Mm-hmm. That's why like a lot of the like. So I still have it open. If you're on Reddit, I'm literally currently in the midst of doing a Reddit AMA in the fantasy football subreddit. Shout out to Jeremy, who runs the fantasy football subreddit. 3.3 million people. So shout out Jeremy for that, and I appreciate him for having me. It's best ball week in the fantasy football subreddit.
Sweet.
But somebody asked me about kind of like, they've asked a bunch about tools. A lot of the questions have been about like tools and that, because obviously that's what we do here at Spike Week. And I basically mentioned something similar to that in one of the answers to one of the questions, being like, even if we get a sample size to where like you could like really automate your process and feel good about it, it's like football's also cyclical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, remember like the too high has solved the Chiefs, and too high has shut down offenses in the NFL. And then it's like, yeah, that changes. It's just like everything evolves. And so even once we get a relevant sample from a best ball perspective, like we're going to have 15, 20 slates to where maybe we could learn something. It's like you're not going to be able to learn, like you can't use Best Ball Mania 2 when we're at Best Ball Mania 20 because like football has even changed, nonetheless best ball changing. So I think that's the beauty of this game that we're playing.
Yeah, it's always going to be different. Who are your running backs around here?
Well, it's about to be J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, Dobbins is probably the pick.
Slam dunk. Yeah.
Yeah, it's constantly changing, and we're getting better at the game. Although I don't know if we're getting better at the game.
Are we?
I think like we as like a community, and maybe that's a bias.
Overall, yes, we are.
But I think so this was kind of like my talking point for the show yesterday, is to go beyond level 1 thinking. And that's sort of the aces play that I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I played the aces on a level 1 thinking level because I was new, because I was nervous. Like, even if I know better, I still played that at like a level 1 thing where it's like, well, I have the best hand, so I'll flatten and I'll make more money here, right? Like, that's level 1 thinking. And the outcome was good, but thank God I'm not one of the people that just latch onto the outcome. I latch onto the process more than the outcome, good, bad, indifferent. And I think this year, more than past years, we've always seen an influx in best ball. I think this year in particular, more than the other years, we've had a lot of level 1 thinkers come into the best ball space who have come in and immediately had the thought that they've solved this game or solved parts of this game, and there's no discourse on it. And let me just say, we haven't solved best ball either. Best ball's not solved.
Hell no.
It's there's a lot of nuance to the game. As you said, it's constantly changing. There's a lot of game theory to it. We're constantly trying to get better. But I think that we are getting, my analogy is we're getting the bad beat players, where like in poker, if you ever want to know who a level 1 thinker is, for the most part, is when they come and tell you a bad beat story, start asking them questions about the hand. Well, what was your position?
I love that.
We'll continue this after you make your pick.
No, it's okay. I hate everything about this spot right here.
Yeah.
I literally right before this just recorded with Karain, and I won't spoil the things that we talked about, but he was kind of encouraging me to be a little more bullish on Scattaboo, and you saw right there, I don't have Scattaboo with a single goddamn player that I've drafted on this entire team, so he makes for a little blend here, and I probably need to have more than 3% or whatever.
But the thing is like when you have a player that comes in and he tells you about a bad beat story, and you're like, okay, well, what position was this guy on the table? What was the action post flop like? And it's like, it doesn't matter. He beat me with 5-8.
Right.
And you're just like, well, it does matter. There's reasons why he could be in the hand with 5-8. The hand doesn't matter as much as the way that it was played, and then I can make a decision on it. And when they can't tell you the nuance of the hand, they're not thinking about the game at a level that they should be of. They'll also be the people that'll be the first player at the table to be like, why are you betting into a dry pot? Like, they want to, like, when someone doesn't do something that is like an ABC effect, like just the absolute floor level thinking, they want to be the reason, they want to be the one to complain about it, tell you how you're doing stuff wrong. And I think we've finally gotten that influx of players this year, more so than we have in the past. It's not a bad thing. We always want new players to come in. We want bad players to come in. But I think it frustrates me at times. I'm sure it frustrates some other people, but you got to take a step back sometimes and just be like, it's not your job to help them. It's not. If if they come to you for guidance or you offer guidance and you have a discussion, that's one thing. It's not your job to fix bad players. So just remember that as you're going through and seeing some of these players that have solved the game, basically.
Yep. I totally agree. That's a great analogy too. And I think the easiest parallel to what happens so often if you're in this best ball space is people want to know, like, tell me how many of each position to draft. Tell me how many of each position to draft, like by a certain point in the draft.
Yeah.
Right. And people want, Korean has always said, like, shortcuts, rules. Like people want to, like, how do I make this easier on myself? There are a certain amount of people that just say, just tell me who to draft, which is fine. Honestly, if you just want to come in and someone that you trust, right, a tout, whatever, like, honestly, like, I love Reeves and Daigle and Gretsch and Leone and Siegel and those guys. Like, if I just wanted to come, if I wasn't doing this as a career, I don't know if I would spend all the time. I might outsource those takes too and just be like, you guys tell me who to draft, right? And like, I can sign up and get the sweat equity out of this and maybe make some money. Yeah, dude, if that's what somebody wants to do, that's great. But I think too many people come in and the level one thinking, like you said, is, okay, how many quarterbacks do I draft? How many running backs do I draft? How many what? And the answer is, as always, it depends. Yeah. Right. And it's like, well, why did you draft this guy? Well, I did this because this, and this. Right. I drafted this guy because, right, I just took Cam Scatterbo. And like, why'd you take Cam Scatterbo? You don't even like really like him. Like, well, I did it because of this, and I did because, I don't have him. I think that exposure is bad. I also don't have him with any of these individual players, so he should be on some of the, and like all this different stuff. And like, why did you take Tucker Crafts? Like, well, I think he's a really good tight end one on teams. When I waited on tight end, this pocket of the draft is really bad. I'm pretty set at all these other positions. There's like all this XYZ, and the other people just want to be like, tell me which players to draft and tell me how many of each position. And it's like, I can't. I'm like, I because every decision depends on the other decisions that you've made, not even just on this team, all your other drafts, right? Like there's so many data points and variables that come into it. And that's the level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thinking that we're talking about, as opposed to level 1. It's just like, tell me who to draft and tell me how many of each position. And that's it, right? I'll be done with it. And it's like, honestly, that doesn't even begin to tell the story of who you should take in round 12 of this draft I'm about to do. Who I should take has nothing to do with any of that, like, at all.
No, tap that.
We are getting to a crazy Judkins. We're getting to a crazy Judkins and Najee Price, but I'm about to get locked the fuck out of quarterback, I think, here, if I don't do something.
Man, I like Ward. I like Young, but maybe you can push him.
I think I can push him. Let's just do Loveland.
Nice.
This is an okay price for Loveland. I know, me too. Because I was a little worried about the health. Like when there was like, he might miss training camp, and like rookie tight end missing training camp is always scary, but it seems like he's fine.
Yeah. So to go to the point that you're making, just to keep doing poker analogies, because that's where we're at tonight. when you're saying like, tell the players that you should draft, that's when people are like, what range of hand should I play? And it's like, that changes based on your position at the table. Like, your under the gun hand range is different than your cutoff and your button and your under the gun +3. Like it's all a different variation. And then you have to account for the players that are behind you or in front of you. It's just like, there are bases. Like, I can give you a base of what you should be doing. And then you have to evaluate where you're at on this table and how you're playing. Like, everything matters, right? Like, just, there's so much information that matters that comes together. It's just there's so many ingredients, and the amount of the ingredient changes based on what you're actually making. So I think that we can build off of a level 1 thing. Right, like you could build
level 1 thing is a level. It's not irrelevant. It's just the first level of many levels.
Yeah, it's just a level that in games of skill, a lot of people lock themselves into, because to the point that you made, people like to lock themselves into a very set structure. Like, it's just like, I want to follow these very few guidelines rather than what are the variables. So what are the level 2, 3, 4, 5? Some people get up to level 2, some people get up to level 3, and so on and so forth. But level 1, I think, is like a wall. Level 2, maybe level 2, but level 1 is a huge wall, more so this year than I think any other year in the best ball space.
Yeah, I've seen very smart people be like 3, 5, 7, 3 on underdog should be the staple, and I'm like, what more is there? Not more information to? It's like, what do you mean? Like, oh my god,
this is where you have to grab your quarterback.
I know. And Najee just fell to pick 150, and I don't even like Najee, but what the fuck?
He has one eye, Eric.
I know. I have to take Cam Ward here.
And they just signed Naheem Hines, so you know.
Yeah, it's over for Najee. As soon as Naheem Hines signs, let me tell you, perfect segue into some camp hike talk. Naheem Hines is back in our lives because Najee only has one fucking eye, and what the hell is going on? That was not what I expected to see 10 minutes before we went live. Naheem Hines is on the Chargers now.
Yeah,
we were drafting him on 2020. In 2021, Naheem Hines was like a legitimate pick probably during those days when he was on the Colts.
I think it's the last time he played too.
Probably.
He's been out for 2 years. I mean,
I know. Poor guy. He was good. He was a good player.
Yeah, he was fun. He's
the most. Remember, that was the other thing about when we first started, which is relevant, not irrelevant to the stuff we were talking about earlier with like sample size and all that kind of stuff, is we were in that era when BBM and underdog and stuff first started with like those pass catching backs.
Yeah.
Like JD McKissick, Naheem Hines, James White. Yeah. Like all those guys were like staples of like every year you walked up and like, what are you going to do with JD McKissick? Didn't you have McKissick on one of those teams you even showed? It's like, well, I mean, we all did, right? Like, and noted like one of my most low key famous tweets. It probably only has like 20 likes, but it was when I dunked on Davis for drafting James White on it. He had drafted like a robust running back team and then drafted James White in like the 16th round or whatever. And all I did was reply on Twitter, what the fuck is the point of James White on this team? And everybody really enjoyed that particular tweet. But is Shipley? Oh, fucking hell. Every time I truly just cannot catch a break. I'm going to do Braylon though on the Fields.
Braylon makes sense for this team.
Fields team.
Yes, I do like Braille. Yeah, I mean, so like it's constantly reevaluating your process, looking through everything, trying to understand that there is no 3-5-7-3 is not always the answer. It is the answer sometimes. Like
yeah, I guarantee it is sometimes.
Yeah,
but like other times it's truly awful.
Yeah, I think
right?
a lot of the time it's truly awful.
A lot of the time it's truly awful.
But I think there are instances.
There's absolutely great. I was it 2 or 3 years ago. I wrote. I actually still kind of like am intrigued by this strategy, though I don't draft it like ever anymore. But I called it the triple option, where the whole premise was kind of that, where with underdog specifically early in the summer, there's like a lot of uncertainty around the late round running backs and wide receivers, right? Mm-hmm. But especially back then, there were. Like this was like the 2021, 2022 times. The late quarterbacks were good. And we know the late tight ends are pretty good. And I was like, well, how can I like capitalize on that, get a really strong running back room and a really strong wide receiver room, but not have to deal with like the back end of the draft drama and like get good late round quarterbacks and late round tight ends to backfill kind of that stuff. And I was like, well, let's take all my running backs and tight ends, or excuse me, my running backs and wide receivers early, and then try to correlate my quarterbacks and tight ends at like back then it would have been like Derek Carr and Juwan Johnson. This year it would be like Cam Ward and Chig. And I'm trying to think of Tua and Darren Waller would be another example. Like wait on your quarterbacks, Jackson Dart and Theo Johnson, and like correlate your quarterbacks and tight ends, but from the punt variety, and then you're still good. So you could do a 3-5-7-3 with that, and it would probably be great. But a 3-5-7-3 where you took fucking Josh Allen and George Kittle, and Jonathan Taylor or whatever, like that team sucks ass. Like that no, that's not a good 3-5-7-3. So that's but people want to know, like, do I draft 3-5-7-3? Do I draft 2-6-8-2? Do I draft whatever? People want to know that. But there just isn't an answer, a one size fits all answer.
Yeah, and I think that's important to note. I think it's been one of the key points of this season where people are just locking themselves into those type of takes.
Get my third tight end and correlate a little Chig action. I'm like, this is working. I would never fucking draft this team by myself, though, by the way. Just full transparency. I can't believe that Chase Brown, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, I like him. Cam Scatterboot, Braylon Allen. This is a different team for me.
Yeah, this is one of those teams you drafted and you're like, I'm glad I got a different team. I hope it doesn't cash.
Exactly. if this finishes 400th, I'm fucked. Like, because all I did was make $20 on this team, and all my other teams are shit. If this team is doing well,
you're like, glad I did it. Hope it sucks.
Like, it's a bunch of guys I have 3% of, and they're all combined together. So,
but you still got to draft them. Like, if you're drafting for portfolios,
I think that they were the right. Most of them were the right picks at that when we're on the clock, but they just happen to not be the picks that I generally take.
Yeah, I mean, but I do like a lot of these players, like, in a vacuum.
Yeah, I don't really dislike any of these guys. I'm not like a big Chase Brown guy. I'm like lukewarm on Justin Fields. Certainly Justin Fields at pick 78. Him being so much pricier than kind of that whole quarterback tier, but like if Fields is kind of one of those, like, if he smashes, if him and Garrett Wilson specifically together smash, like if you got him at pick 78 or pick 95, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So I'm gonna get some of these teams.
Speaking of famous tweets, my most famous one was last year's Garrett Wilson tweet.
That was the Garrett Wilson. Yeah. Did anybody ever double back and be like, "You're right, Rob"? I imagine no.
No. I got. There was hundreds of bookmarks. Not one of them were like, "Yep, you nailed this."
1,000 people bookmarked it, and 0 people came back to the bookmark. Yeah. That's how it always goes.
Part of the problem.
God damn it! Who is this Corey person? I was literally just excited to draft De'Ami Brown, and that is all ruined.
Wide receivers. What are we doing?
I know.
What is happening?
Oh no, we're gonna take Hunter, and then we're gonna rip a whole bunch of wide receivers to finish this draft. I kind of like doing this. Here's something I know is not plus EV or whatever people would like to call it, but I enjoy doing in drafts, especially when I'm like doing something else at the house, right? Or whatever. Like maybe I'm walking. I draft when I walk the dogs, which is a stressful experience. I have spots in my neighborhood where I lose service. So I have to like plan out, like I have to make sure my queue is good. During the so it's a very stressful time. I'm also like listening to a podcast, and my dogs are a little dog reactive and stuff. So it's like that time is very stressful time. Probably not the best time to draft the best ball team, but I do it nonetheless. And so what I will do sometimes is like, was Jarquez Hunter the best pick there? I'm not sure. Probably not. But I'm like, all I'm going to do from round 17 to round 20 now is draft wide receivers. And so that makes it really easy for me. I can just like load the queue with a bunch of wide receivers, and I can get like some unique options at the end. I'm going to have like multiple guys that are maybe not drafted in every single draft. I have, honest to God, no idea if this is even like reasonably sharp, but I find it to be a plus life EV experiment. I don't know if it's a good best ball EV though. Shit. IO Manor. Yeah, to the fucking podium.
Dude, I draft when I walk Gotham too. And Gotham, one of the best dogs ever, right? Like very chill for the most part. But
yeah, we always see him laying on his goddamn back in the background every stream.
Yeah, just chilling. He's very chill, but he is still a husky, and huskies are very stubborn, as you may know.
Yep.
And Sunday morning, I brought him out to walk at 6:30 because it gets too hot. So I always try to bring him out early. And we do a walk where on brand, I walk through a cemetery. And the furthest point of our walk is the furthest point of the cemetery. And we get to the furthest point of the cemetery, and he just stops. and he doesn't want to walk anymore. And I'm like, dude, we are as far away from the house as we can be right now. Like and he just sits there and I'm like trying to draft and I'm like trying to get him to come and he just doesn't want to. He eventually moved, but like, dude, I usually bring him to a pond, but he's been doing that too, where like he'll just stop at the pond and doesn't want to walk anymore. Wants to go back to the car. And I'm because he wants his breakfast is what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, now you're as far away as you possibly can be from your breakfast. So you need to figure it out.
You also have to we have to get back. You have to catch your breath, like all that kind of stuff. Like you don't understand. You're making this way worse on yourself by doing this. You think you're like, this is a shortcut. This is the scenic route you're taking to breakfast.
Yeah, and I'm not carrying you, so you better start walking.
You're fucking 80 pounds, brother. I ain't carrying you back to the car.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole thing. So
one of mine, so they're Griffey and Taz, like Tasmanian Devil, and obviously Ken Griffey Jr. And but Taz has a neighborhood girlfriend who every time we go near that house, like I have to like gear myself up for if I'm gonna take the route that goes near his girlfriend's house, because it's the same shit. Like we ain't going nowhere. Like when he gets by there, because she comes and she lays down. She's be in the backyard, and she comes and she just lays down in front of him, and he's just like he literally will just like straight sink the hips, like go full squat, just sink the hips, and like Pops, you better drag me the fuck out of here. And sometimes I have to. Sometimes I have to be like, we do it. Eventually, we have to actually walk away because it's not that far from. It's actually not that far from my house. It's a total shit show.
All right, we need another
receiver. We need a lot of receivers here.
AD Mitchell is a favorite of mine in this range.
Not one of mine. Let's go get one of my first guys here really quickly.
Jermaine Burton, I'm into it. Rowdy aggressive.
Scroll. I know it is, but I might scroll down for all three.
Which is totally fine.
Wide receiver options. Yeah, they're all the same. I mean, dude, what's the difference between Roman Wilson and any other guy that I'm going to draft here? So I do kind of genuinely like. You can do this at running back too, but I kind of like it at wide receiver where you can still build. Like, I mean, I started with 5 wide receivers in the first 6 rounds, so like I'm not hurting, but I do need wide receiver. I definitely do need wide receivers. I could still take another running back though. It's up for debate. But
the sandwich method that I created.
The sandwich method is one of my favorites. And you didn't even know, maybe you did know, maybe you are that smart, that this year was going to be the greatest sandwich season of all time at running backs with the Triple H bros. Like, yeah. Dude, and not even just them. There's if you like Chuba, Mixon, Kamara, Ken Walker, whatever, like the sandwich running back is incredible this year. Yeah. Incredible.
One thing I've been thinking about, because you've been doing the wheel spin, is I want to do a wheel spin show, but I want the prompts to just be, I want there to be 2 wheels, and I want there to be a main strategy focus, like 0 RB, robust RB, whatever.
Ooh, I like this.
And then the secondary one is like elite tight end, elite quarterback. Like,
we could do this on Mondays. We could do our chop it up, but then do the draft comes from the double wheel.
Yeah, and we just have to figure out what actually goes on each wheel. But I think
I like that.
That'd be fun.
Like the like core structure is your running back, robust running back, sandwich running back, whatever, like on, and then like an ancillary, like you said, elite tight end or whatever, like punt tight end, like solo. Solo. I really like that idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's a good way. Because I think that's another thing with drafting is people focus on the main strategies and they forget that there are secondary strategies that you can implement in these as well.
Where did Royals go? See, this is why you don't stream and start talking about your dogs, because I forget.
Round 17.
Round 17. Oh, fuck. Of course. Wide Dad's got Cowing, Tucker, Royals. He's got he's playing the hits over here in the 102. Sampson, Likely, Trey Harris, Herbert, Burden. I like it.
If we're doing a BBM team tonight, can we do it on my account?
Of course.
Because I am trying to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm far behind on draft. This is my 30th main event. I'm in good shape in BBM, so we can swap over here and around.
Cool. That sounds like a plan. I didn't start drafting.
Should we do a slow draft and just keep the stream going until the slow draft is over? Isn't that that's what you do?
Great idea.
That is a good idea, actually.
We should
stream until the slow draft is over.
Oh my god!
Did you see? So at Barstool, they did. They kept the stream going. NCAA football comes out, right? They started a dynasty, and they kept the stream going until they won the national championship, and they lost in year 1 on a missed field goal.
Oh no!
So they had to keep going.
Were they playing the games or simulating the games?
Playing, but it was a team. It was a team effort. There was like multiple guys.
Oh my god! You can't be the guy that they have. You can't be the guy
field goal in the national championship game to win the national championship.
My
he missed the
god!
field goal.
You got to kick him out, right?
Yeah, 100%. You'd be dead to me. You would be dead to me. Are you fucking serious?
You got to kick him out.
I got a camera on my life for a fucking week, and you missed a field goal in a video game, bro. Yeah, we can't be friends. We can't be friends anymore. At least not a minimum of like a 2-week pause. Like, don't talk to me for 2 weeks. I might get over it, but not right now.
Oh my god, that is brutal.
I would genuinely rather, like, we got to round 18 here and Will Shipley is 3 rounds past ADP and you talk me into someone else. Like, I'd be mad at you for a while. But like at the alternative of like having to run it back for another fucking whole goddamn season.
Yeah.
On NCAA. Oh my god, that sounds awful.
Yeah, because you got to go through all the offseason stuff too. Like, it's not even
recruiting. Yep.
Yeah. It's not even just playing. Like, you're doing everything.
And I think they were Ohio State. So it's not like they had any excuse.
Oh, and also that's bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like,
you need to play as like fucking Bowling Green or something. Like, grow a pair.
Yeah, build a
I always play as Hawaii. I play as Hawaii. Because like that's like our vibes. Like when we were like, dude, Hawaii was just the absolute best. I should look at. Do you think this running back room is enough? Chase Brown, Aaron Jones, Dobbins, Scatterboot.
It probably. I think you could. I think this is a luxury pick. I think you could do either. I like Monangai. Swing it around Monangai though.
Ooh, I'm cool with that actually. Yeah, I don't have him with a bunch of these guys.
I think he has a chance of.
Let's do that. I like
moving up boards. Really
got DJ Moore and Loveland on the team, so I've already made the Bears bet. Yeah, I think that makes sense. All right. Before Rob hops into a BBM, my drafters team. Jesus, this is gonna I may stumble over some of these names because I have not drafted very many of them. Justin Fields, Cam Ward, Chase Brown, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Scatterboot, Braylon Allen, Jarquez Hunter, and Kyle Monangai. At wide receiver, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Debo Samuel, Alec Manor, Jermaine Burton, and Jordan Whittington, and then Tucker Kraft, Colston Loveland, and Chig Okonkwo. Honestly, it's a pretty good team. I'm cool. I'm cool with this team. Not one, like I said, that I would normally draft. So if this wins at all, we're cool. If this gets like I said, if this gets like 200th, we're fucked. The season is going to be a disaster, but a fun team nonetheless.
Doesn't have QJ on it, but I mean, I guess.
QJ 2 touchdowns today in training camp. We were an hour in, and we finally got around to training camp. I'm gonna have to change the title of this YouTube video, by the way, to something that's not related to training camp. But
it's called a hook, Eric. We just
we hooked you in, and then we never fucking delivered on the hook.
We delivered it. It's when we delivered.
Right, that's true. Hang out with us for an hour. We'll eventually maybe talk about Quentin Johnston's training camp performance today. Pat and I did talk about this very, very briefly on the pod we recorded. The Chargers, like, I know the Chargers reported earlier than everyone else, so we're getting a little bit more news on them. But also, it does feel like no one else, like other teams have reported and started practice, but it feels like it's only the Chargers, and it feels like every Chargers player is just going to the fucking Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
based on the reporting, like QJ, Gadsden, Trey Harris, Hampton, Justin Herbert is the fucking reincarnation of Mahomes plus Joe Montana together. Like, it's insane. Keandre Lambert-Smith is just the next, Mike Williams. Who gives a shit? We got Keandre Lambert-Smith. He's the next Jerry Rice. It's like, it's crazy. Every Charger is a superstar.
I want draft spot 9 or 10 in this draft, by the way, because I have a very specific thing I want to do in this draft.
Okay. Perfect timing. I'll be right back. You explain,
Yep.
or foreshadow.
Can't give it away, but we'll continue talking about the Chargers as they are one of my favorite teams before training camp even opened. I am loving the way that it is setting up for the Chargers this year. We got draft spot 110. Look at that. We called our shot. We absolutely called our shot on this draft, and we get the 110, and we are excited about it. But yeah, I really love the Chargers this year. The easy for me to say, the Najee injury, I think we don't know what that really is. I think that the passing game is going to be more prevalent than people are giving it credit for. And I think there's 4 pass catchers you can take, obviously, with the 3 wide receivers. I think all 3 are fine. I think all three play a perfect role in an offense as well. You have your stud, you have your guy that's on the field, and you have your guy that can come in and just put up a touchdown, as we saw today when he put up 2. And then we have a tight end that's emerging. So I like the Chargers overall. They're one of my favorite teams to draft. I like to leave every draft with a Charger on my roster. And it's something that I am been very adamant about since about a month and a half ago when I labeled QJ as like my favorite player to draft.
Min 1 Charger, and you got your draft placement.
I called the spot.
It's a great day, man.
Called the spot.
Reminiscing about all the times we got concussed and nearly died on a football field, and talking about Quentin Johnston, and yeah, what a dream. Welcome to the Best Ball Basement, where we talk about where we almost died and tout Quentin Johnson. What could go wrong? Whoa, CMC 106. This is the opposite of the drafters room we were just in.
So I'm about 14 BBMs in over the past week, and I am at 53% Nico Collins, and I regret nothing.
Is that your plan here?
It's not. We're gonna be a little spicy on this. I was thinking about it earlier, and DeLudo grabs Nico Collins anyways. I love all these guys. I want AJ Brown though.
Whoa, I love it. AJ Brown, notably the 107 last year, and is now a mid-second round pick.
Yep. So I want to go AJ Brown at the 110 and see what happens here around this turn. We see Neighbors go. We see Jinty go, which means that Brian Thomas should go here at the second pick of the
I'm
second
intrigued
round.
to see your plan. I think I might need to change my percentages to that teal that you got going on there.
I mean, it's tough to bypass it, but we did this for a reason.
Yeah, you can't take him and then take BTJ, which would be
No, the whole point of this, and I think that's another mistake people make when they do stuff like this. Like, it's tough, right? Like, we get ADP locked, but I wanted an AJ Brown, Ladd McConkey team in this tournament, and I knew I had to do it from like the 110, the 109 maybe, and that's what we were doing here.
You got to stick to the once you took AJ Brown, it doesn't it just doesn't matter. Like, whoever falls, somebody else got that guy, and that's okay, because your whole plan was something different.
Yep. So we give DeLudo the Nico Collins, Brian Thomas start.
That's okay. It's not that unique.
It's
Nico BTJ is not a big deal.
No,
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's a fucking awesome start. Yeah. To be clear, it's fucking awesome. Like, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be happy about it. I'm just saying it's like you didn't gift him like, Puka Neighbors, which is pretty unique or something like that.
Yeah. So that is a pairing that I'm trying to get in all these tournaments. The AJ Brown, Lad McConkey. It's something you can easily do, and I just don't think it's getting done because I think, myself included, we've tiered these first and second rounders. There's dividing lines.
Yep.
And we winced for a second when Brian Thomas was still there.
I winced hard as a motherfucker. Like I was like, please don't do it to me because I don't want to have this conversation.
But we're drafting a portfolio, right? Like that's what we keep talking about. We're drafting a portfolio. We're not drafting just a singular team to play in this tournament. So if we're drafting a portfolio, we want some of these outlier combos. And we didn't really do too much in theory to make this combo happen, right? We brought AJ Brown up a few picks, and then we get Lad McConkey, right around where he goes, and we're unique, and we can do whatever we want for the rest of this draft, basically.
Yep, I love it. I need to do a little sprinkle more of that. Man, shout out! I'm if you're here in the. There's someone that just joined the Discord kind of when we went live, so I'm wondering if it was somebody that is here. Sick battle station posted in the Discord. Got draft IQ up, got tournament DB up, and got a underdog draft going at the same time. Shout out to the folks in the Discord, which of course there's a link in the description if you want to come hang out. More than just while we're streaming, you can come hang out with us 24/7, 365.
All right,
I'll let you go, and then I like this question for best ball. We'll let you rip this turn, and then we'll.
So the question is, do we want Marvin Harrison or do we want one of the backs?
I would take Marv. This is the dream when you take that start. I think.
Yeah, I don't hate
it. You obviously already have the unique start, and then you get the crazy faller in the third, and now it's just like literally just take the best player. Available.
Yeah, and we're up in 4 picks, and there's 4 players that I would really like in this spot. So,
which 4?
So Kittle was one of them who just went.
I figured.
I wouldn't mind Jaden Daniels as well.
T-Mac goes,
and I'm fine with either of these backs.
I mean, if Brees comes all the way back, if you didn't already have the only combination of these guys to start a draft. Jesus.
We'll take it.
Holy hell.
So we'll take
so like if someone said you can't reach, right? You can't do the AJ Brown Lad thing. It's like, well, you just made back all of that value in your 3-4 turn picks. Now you can't count on that happening, but it happens more than you think, and it's going to eventually happen. There's a faller in every room ever of all time. And so like you just made that back instantly and had like the craziest unique start to a BBM team I've ever seen. And it's really good. Brees Hall was a first round pick last year. AJ Brown was a first round pick last year. Lad has moved up into a second round pick, and Marv was a 1-2 turn pick last year.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And I think all are viable to keep their spot or move up in drafts. So there we are.
Would you put the board up?
Oh yeah, I should probably put the board up, shouldn't I?
So for Best Ball says, speaking of quality of life and slow drafts, can you talk about how you manage multiple slows? Are you doing slows?
Not yet.
Are you going to?
I hope not. But probably.
I don't wish it on anyone. As someone with the hundreds of slows going pretty much from June to September, I don't wish it on anyone. Well, what I will say, I do it. I'm not sure it's for quality of life. It is a little bit out of necessity. I admittedly don't have quite the time like I used to.
Yeah.
Like I used to do fast drafts only. I did more than 1,000 drafts a couple summers ago, and it was only fast. Last year I did 1,500, and it was a lot of slows. This year I have even less time. So I'm doing slows, but how I do it is three times a day. I will check in every once in a while, just like if I have a free moment and I'm just like piddling around or whatever, I'll go make some picks on my phone or something. But what I try to do is morning, I wake up, Same thing. Pull up the workstation, make a bunch, draft all my slow draft picks that I'm on the clock for. I also will say while I'm in a slow draft, I try to build out a queue. We do have a notes feature of the draft hacker, which I really need to use more often.
Yeah.
That I do not use. I use the queue kind of to be my notes, but I could just do the fucking notes. I don't know why I don't do it. Lazy and stubborn. But I use the queue to kind of help myself with the story of what I was trying to do. Then in the afternoon, for me, it's usually around 2:30 or so. I do the same thing, go through and make a bunch of picks. And then before I go to bed, I make a bunch of slow draft picks. That's kind of my general process. And the draft hacker is like I don't think I'd be able to do it without the tools. So
yeah.
I draft a lot of slow drafts, and that's my general process.
I'm Harvey here, but I could be talked. Maybe I should be Henderson here.
What do you have? 27% Harvey, 13% Henderson. What's up to you? I'm not going to pressure. I like both of those guys.
Let's do Henderson.
No issues for me. He does play Brees in the final. We can get a little pass catching running back back and forth in week 17. The prices on the running backs is so funny site by site.
Yeah.
Like you could, dude, Mixon will fall to like 70 on drafters, but he goes ahead of Henderson and Harvey and Connor and Swift and all those guys on underdog.
We might still get Harvey here too.
I know.
Nope.
Nope. Not in a spike week draft, brother. Have you ever heard of Triple H? Because that's been a thing apparently. Rome.
I cannot draft Rome. I have too much Jawan Jennings, maybe 40%.
Yeah, he's gonna keep falling too. And if you wanted to take somebody else,
shit, I should have.
It's okay. There ain't nothing wrong with Jawan.
I don't like the 20-second clock, by the way. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I'm surprised they went to only. I guess I shouldn't say I'm surprised, but a little shocked that they made a big move.
Yeah. 6
years in. I'm not sure that the clock was a
halfway through the tournament.
Yeah, that was interesting. If we're gonna shit on DraftKings for randomly releasing, and it's understandable that we did, for randomly releasing the data totally out of the blue for the Millie Maker. If we're just gonna change the rules of our drafts in the middle of the summer, we should also call that out too. Yeah. I thought that was a bizarre decision. I understand why they did it. I think having multiple options is a liquidity problem, not liquidity necessarily so much as a fill rate problem. You know, the more options you have, the more you need 12 in 20, 12 in 30, and 12 in slow drafts to fill a draft. And you don't want the experience for a user to be waiting on drafts. But that should be thought about before the season starts, not in June.
And if you're making the adjustment, I think it should just be on the new tournaments that you're launching at that point, not the ones that are already active.
Yeah, I don't think it was a problem for BBM. Maybe I'm just crazy, but
I think I brought this up to you where I was like, can you imagine playing in the World Series of Poker main event and then 9 they're like, this level is going to be an hour and a half, and you're just like, what?
Right. Corey says, what are you using that shows your ownership percentage? That is here at Spike Week. We created what we call the Draft Hacker. It's overlays. We use a browser extension that you can customize all of the settings for. You can see whatever you want. Rob has various different percentages. And of course, the playoff schedule. I also have the playoff schedule. But you can customize what you want to see on your screen. We have it's literally up to 100 different options that you can choose. As many as you want or as few as you want. I personally use a bunch of the combinatorial, obviously the exposure to the players, and then my exposure with the players that I've drafted. And of course, correlations, right? So you'll see things light up on Rob's screen with a player who's correlated with his quarterback or with a teammate or with a week 17 opponent, those different kinds of things. You can customize all that with the draft hacker. And we did just reduce the annual price to $200. So you get a full year for $200, or if you just like to pay monthly, it's $39.99. The rankings, the content, the Discord, everything all comes with that $39.99. So that, the tools are all included. Everything is all included. We just lumped it all into one. I've had enough as a consumer myself, and obviously as a business owner in the space. I've had enough of the price gouging we've done to all of the poor gamblers. Like, my God, you got to pay for the tools, and then you got to pay for the advice, and then you got to pay for the Discord, and then you got to pay for college football, and then you got to pay for NFL, and enough is enough. So we just lumped it all into everything. One annual or monthly price.
Should we? So we took Ibuka.
Yeah, love Ibuka.
Should we take Mason on this team?
Who are your running backs?
My running backs are Brees and Travion.
I like Mason. Yeah.
And the other option would be Baker or Kyler.
I think I would take Mason. Yeah.
We'll take Mason.
I don't sweat the quarterbacks too much. Who are the receivers? Ibuka, AJ Brown. Oh, so you got outs to.
But yes.
You have outs to some quarterback who may have been getting hyped in camp. The thing we were going to talk about today.
And in fairness, I was hyping Chargers, as I said earlier.
Agreed.
Before camp. This was
me
my
too.
Team.
You want to know why Trey Harris even goes as high as he does, brother? It's because all of us idiots have been drafting him. Somebody said that Silva, shout out to our good friend Evan Silva, said I don't know, maybe a month or something ago on a show. I didn't listen, but he said something along the lines of, "Who the hell is drafting Trey Harris at this price or whatever?" I think relative to underdog ADP. And I was like, oh boy, I hope he doesn't see where I have him ranked, because it's way ahead of that price. And it's all of us that have been drafting Trey Harris. But I feel good. We've been very aligned on the Charger stuff, man. I'm all in Chargers.
Yeah, it's one of the teams. So like, they are the inverse Chicago Bears, where like, I still draft all the Bears, but I'm like real shaky about it. Well, all except for Rome. I don't really like Rome.
Same.
But like, I'm scared to death as I'm clicking Chicago Bears. I'm clicking all the LA Chargers, and I'm dancing as I click all of them. But a great bit would have been like, if I had known about that clip, would have been Evan Silva saying, "Who the hell's drafting Trey Harris?" And then we just cut to a rave, and we just write that it's a Spike Week Discord. Just at the rave, just running to the podium. Man.
I don't think I want to go to war. I know it wouldn't be going to war, but I don't even think I want to put it out there with ETRs. They come after their own people in their social media team. They're savages, man. That nobody is safe with the ETR gang.
That is true. Quite true.
MDS says you can. What are you doing with the? Are you doing any Darnold?
If I have to, like, he's there. Like, I'll click him.
Break glass in case of emergency type guy.
He's the ultimate oh shit stack, and there's no rest area in sight guy. Like,
you had to run in and get a key, to the bathroom.
Yeah,
type of a guy.
But I think he's fine. Like, I mean, I think he plays the majority of the season. Honestly, I think he's just like, he's where he should be, but he's also where other guys used to be.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. He's where he should be relative to this class, but he's not where we've expected that kind of a player to be historically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow. We have options here. We can do Baker, or we can do Purdy.
Straight to the podium, Baker. You got to take this fall, I think.
Yeah, let's do it.
do people call Sam Darnold Darny? Is that a thing that I'm
Darny.
unaware of?
Darn.
If it's true, I'm not a fan.
No,
I'm not into this. MDS says if Darny downgrades to 4,025 touchdowns, that's a win. That's definitely true. If he downgrades to being called Darny, then I'm not sure he can throw for 4,000 yards in the NFL. I'm upset. I'm not happy about this nickname. Is that a real thing? They don't call him
I've
that.
never heard it, but we're taking Justin Herbert. I'm pulling him up.
Of
We're not
course.
getting
You
him
have
back.
to. Don't worry. Don't let
I can't take Darny later.
yeah.
Can't do it.
Jesus Christ. He'll forever now be known as Darn. That's a pet nickname for him. It evolved from Darnold Schwarzenegger. Shit.
All right, I'm
That's
back in.
good. Okay. Not gonna lie. They had us in the first half. That was good.
We're back.
Well
baby.
played. Well played, MDS. I like it. I can't say it though. Like publicly, I can't be on record as calling him Darny. But I respect
you
it.
You need to do every show with other people and say it, but never address it.
Just say it and see what they respond with. Like,
yeah,
I think we just need to backstack Darny here.
Yeah,
and like see what they like. Pardon?
Dude,
like
you have to do a show with Davis and do it because I need to see if you know how Davis has the thing where he also finishes the sentence of his guest at the end.
Yes.
Where like you'll be like, yeah, we just need a backstack Darny here. He's like, and I just want to see if he goes, yeah, backstack Darny here. Just doesn't realize what he's saying.
If he just, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
That's what I need. I need that in my life. So
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Sam Darnold's grandpa's name is Dick Hammer. And that's a factual statement, says Berg. Collins, where's Kincaid? Kincaid got pulled up. 114. Is that the Allen drafter?
Of course not.
Nope. Just really fucking needed Dalton Kincaid on that team.
We do have a double elite quarterback build here as well with Lamar and Jaden Daniels.
Oof.
That's going to be an interesting team.
Yes, it is. And they tried a little bit to dig out of the wide receiver hole. I'm just not sure they got out.
Yeah, well, they start with the. So what I will give them.
Well, the third tight end right there just killed it.
Oh yeah. Now they're dead.
If you get if you remove Njoku or if you remove one of the three tight ends, I think it'd be all right.
Do we want? Do we want Kyle Williams or do we want a running back?
I would prefer a running back. I think this is a great running back range.
You
fucking love Trey Benson.
Did you not hear? He's gained 7 pounds, Eric, and he's more explosive.
Is that good?
He's more explosive, and he is a co-RB1. If you listen to Trey Benson,
I like Trey Benson. I'm just saying, you have a strong affinity for Trey Benson, a little bit stronger than I do, and I like him. I'm overweight Trey Benson. Okay. I'm not trying to argue with you about the fact that he's fat now or whatever. I'm just saying
explosive.
Yeah, sure. Like Debo's not fat. I get it. Dude, they did somebody posted that Debo has like 6% body fat or whatever on social media. I was like, guys, you're not helping. Like we have pictures. That dude does not have 6% body fat. Like it might be 10 and that's fine, but just don't lie about it. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to pretend he's something that he's not. He's a chunky guy. He's husky. He's a phenomenal athlete. Let's not lie about it.
What do you think about taking Likely here?
I love Isaiah Likely. He's one of my highest owned tight ends.
I think that
he's probably my highest owned non-elite.
I think he's
tight
a
end.
smash. I
Likely and Strange. I think likely Strange, Fannin. It's the 3 elite guys, and then likely Strange and Fannin for me. I think are my highest. Haven't checked.
Yeah,
I like
likely. I feel like it just has from this point on. If anyone has a top 3 tight end outcome in their range,
100%,
it's likely. And I just want to smash the button on likely, whether I have a Baltimore stack, whether it's a Green Bay bring back, it doesn't matter. I just want as much likely as I can possibly get in these drafts. So
you don't even gotta. It doesn't even have to be correlated. Like if he's just a slammed, like if he just takes the job from Andrews because Andrews is cooked, then likely is better. If Andrews goes down, if they just keep doing what they've been doing and playing a bunch of 2 tight ends because the rest of their receivers suck ass, like DeAndre Hopkins, Nelson Aguilar, like it's like there's so many paths to him. He's just a good football player, and you just draft good football players. That was another thing Karina and I talked about earlier today, where we stumbled into like, what the hell do we do with Chris Olave? Because you're like, he's a really good football player, but the Saints situation is so goddamn bad that like I don't know what to do with Olave. And obviously he has the concussion risk too. But Isaiah Likely is like the opposite. It's like he's a really good football player, and he's on the Baltimore Ravens. Those are very good things to have together. And it's like, I don't care about Mark Andrews. Just give me good football players attached to the Ravens, like, and full stop. That's it.
Yeah, good offensive coordinators are going to utilize their best players, and if 2 of their best players are Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, there's room for both of them on that team. So I will take both, with Likely having the bigger upside, in my opinion.
Yeah, now he does. Yep.
Like overall, I mean, I think Mark Andrews still has pretty good upside as well. I still take him. I mean,
it's just like Likely could be like we look back and we're like drafting him in the 4th round next year.
Yeah,
Andrews has upside to be like a nice win at his price. Likely has upside to be like, oh, that guy was the top 5 tight end in the NFL.
Yeah, and it depends on where Andrews is next year too.
Yep.
QJ went in the 12th round, so that's the thing that happened.
Well, he caught 2 touchdowns today, so.
I want the points now. Just give them to me.
How many points do I get for that 28-yard touchdown against a fucking insurance salesman today in training camp?
I have no strong lean here. I'd be fine with Palmer. I'd be fine with Besh. I like Tank Bigsby. I like Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright is the bring back.
I like Jalen Wright. I like Jalen Wright bring back. Yeah.
Jalen Wright bring back. Oh,
there we go. We were close.
I hope I didn't unclick it. All right, we got Jalen Wright.
Jalen Wright bring back works.
That works for me. Okay, I have a few options for our next pick. We're at 2551. We'll go over the team after this next pick. But I think there are 2 pretty easy clicks here. Let's see if either of them go. I don't think they will, though.
After we get done, I want to see where Samson went in this draft. I assume he's gone already.
Yeah, he's got to be gone.
The price. It's getting steamy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it should. It should. But I'm just saying. I'm monitoring. It's pretty crazy.
Pat Bryant or Jalen McMillan for me here.
I prefer Pat Bryant.
I also prefer Pat Bryant.
I just think we know what it's technically possible that, like, you know, Godwin doesn't return to full health from the ankle break. But even then, like, I know he's correlated for you, but I feel like Ibuka and McMillan are sort of conflicting upside cases. Like if Ibuka's great, which is my bet, and even if Godwin is out, Evans is still around, and Otten is still around, and Bucky's still around. It's like there's still only one goddamn football. on the team. And Jalen McMillan wasn't exactly earning a bunch of targets last year. He caught a bunch of touchdowns, but he had a very Jahan Dotson-y rookie season, which, you know the way we think about Jahan Dotson now. So I think there's a place for McMillan.
In camp today, Jahan Dotson.
Of course he was. So is Rager. Speaking of the Chargers hype, Jalen Rager is apparently a goddamn superstar again with the Chargers, which has me slightly concerned that they're maybe just a little too excited about all of their players out there in Southern California. I mean, Harbaugh, who literally would fucking kiss Justin Herbert's feet every day of the week, how much he loves that guy. Like the whole coaching staff isn't a little bit over exuberant about all their players. What a surprise. But they're excited.
Samson went at 143, by the way.
I think that's still fine. Just surprising. I feel so much better about how I just, after the Judkins stuff came out, I was like, every time I was on the clock, just take him, just take him, because it's only going to rise. And I feel much better about, it felt queasy at first to be like 155 Samson, and now you're like, yep, good job. That was smart. Good job. Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of 2021, which we were talking about earlier, the Darrell Henderson stuff was so funny that year.
Oh man, I remember I had 25% Henderson when Akers got hurt in BBM. And BBM was the only thing back then in 20. For people that don't understand, 2021 was like dinosaur times. We only had one tournament to draft in for almost the whole summer until the very end. Then Underdog really, they started the puppies in 2021. Kareem, this is pre-Kareem, being a big boy Kareem.
Yeah.
And this is pre-Davis being on his own. He was at Sports Grid. And he had Kareem on right after the news broke. And Davis says something about well, I bet Beimfohr has fucking 50% Darrell Henderson or whatever, because I was zero RBing it up like a motherfucker, that year and drafting all. I haven't changed in 5 years. I still draft all the backup running backs, and so I was drafting the shit out of Henderson, and they were like, "God damn it!" They're like, "What's even the point of drafting BBM? Beimfohr's probably got the fucking winner or whatever." And then turns out Darrell Henderson was absolutely goddamn useless, but I kind of had the winner almost with Sony Michel.
This is Kate Otten, right? This is
Yep. This is coming together nice, yeah. Otten and Likely are a pretty good pair, I think.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where I'm fine with two, and if I want to add a third, I can. Because we're not adding a third quarterback here. I'm
right.
Baker and
no, not with Baker and Herbert.
But with the tight ends, it's I can go either way with that.
I'm totally cool with 3 tight ends. I just don't like the 3 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends when I like Baker's your first quarterback. I don't want to spend 6.
Yami?
I don't want to spend 33% of my roster spots on onesies.
Diami on this pick?
Hell yes.
As wide receiver 7. Yeah.
Diami is such a fucking layup, man.
All right. So the team right now is Baker, Justin Herbert, Breece Hall, Travion Henderson, Jordan Mason, Trey Benson, Jalen Wright, AJ Brown, Ladd McConkey, Marvin Harrison, Jawan Jennings, Abuka, Pat Bryant, De'Ami Brown, Isaiah Likely, Kate Otten.
Good team.
Unique team,
but you got a bunch of fallers that so you reach for the AJ Brown thing, and then immediately from the 3rd round on, it was who gives a shit that you reach for the one pick, because everything else just fell into your lap. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And I think it's in these tournaments too, speaking of the level 1 thinking, a lot of people look at just advancing out of the first round, where that's 25% of the thing. And I think the Rashee Rice thing really brought out the level 1 thinkers, and I don't think we have time for that discussion tonight.
Please don't.
But when I'm taking Ladd McConkey and AJ Brown, just like all the players before them, these are guys that are capable of huge spike weeks, massive spike weeks, as well as the guys before them. And I could hit on a combination that just propels me out of week 15, out of week 16, wins me week 17 if I can get them there, just like the other ones. But it's just done less than the other combinations of players
Yep.
that either they go with or other players go with. And doesn't mean I want to do it every single time, but it's why you pulled Devontae Adams up in 2021.
Right. Right.
Right. Like you had the best Devontae Adams teams in the finals that year.
Mhm.
And I don't remember if he scored you points or not. He might
Yes,
not
he
have.
did. Yes,
But
he did. Almost 30.
so like now you have a variation of that team.
And it was weird to get Chase with Devontae.
Yeah.
Because Chase went at the 4-5 turn and Devontae did not go with this, it didn't map for the majority of BBM. So like we actually, by pulling him up, were able to get a Devontae team, even though, other people had air quotes better Devontae teams. We got 4-5 turn Chase with Devontae Adams. That was really hard to get if you didn't make that move that we made. And obviously Chase went for 50 and Devontae had like 28 or something like that.
And I
what are
think the other thing,
just really quickly, the odds the Browns don't sign Judkins, I wish I could put a number to it. I think very unlikely. But what are the odds that this thing drags on? I think that's the greater concern, that this thing drags on. I don't really see a scenario unless there's some things we haven't heard about that they don't sign him, but I think it could drag on for a while, and that's the greater concern.
I'm going to grab Taj Brooks here as RB6 on this
I
team.
like Keaton too.
I do like Keaton.
Those are my two favorite running backs in this spot, Keaton and Taj.
I think I want to take Taj though. I think Keaton's odds of rising are less than Taj Brooks' odds of rising. And I think I'm still going to like Keaton.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's going to take like a Justice Hill injury, which we've had before.
And see, I think you're right about that, but I think that's wrong by the market. It's one of those. So like you're right in saying,
yeah,
I'm cool. I'm going to get my shares. And I think the market is like Justice Hill doesn't really impact Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't play the same. They basically don't play the same position.
Right.
I know they're both running backs, but Keaton is like a home run hitter, like change of pace. And Justice Hill is a third down running back. Like he's like their JD McKissick, their James White, their Naheem Hines, if you will. A little Aronde. I like it.
Aronde to round out this.
Hell yeah.
Tight end.
I was gonna say, somebody mentioned, someone like a Taylor or a Juwan. I would swing at tight end, and maybe you think Taylor is a swing, but that's how I was gonna shout Fannin. But Gadsden is the same thing. Like take a swing on the young rookie, dude. Likely and Otten is fine.
Yeah,
like you're gonna chug along. You're gonna have down weeks, of course, but Otten's gonna play like every snap, and Likely's gonna do the Ravens likely thing. So like take a swing. Don't take another like 5 points a game guy with the occasional 12-pointer. Like take the swing on the rookie who like we could be like, holy fuck, Aronde Gadsden like should have been going in the 7th round or whatever. Like take that. That's what Fannin and Gadsden are to me.
I think that's a problem. Like a mistake that a lot of drafters make is when they are drafting 3 tight ends and they have a combination sort of like we have, where you have that one, like sort of like the guy that you would consider the it's with duct tape, but he's the linchpin of your tight end room. They try to take another floor player and then another floor player where like I like taking Gadsden, I like taking Fannin, I like taking Ferguson. Like if I'm gonna take a third guy, give me a guy that I am just swinging for upside with.
Yep, Arroyo now, especially with Fant gone. Like take a swing. I think Likely is actually an awesome. I do like Likely as tight end 1 and 3 tight end rooms quite a lot. But I do exactly like what you did, like Likely Otten Fannin, Likely Hunter Henry Gadsden, Likely Tyler Higbee Fannin. Like do like blend through that stuff. Like don't take too many floor guys, the one floor guy did the job. He's it. He's the floor. Right? Like once you drafted Tyler Higbee, you accepted you're not going to draft a smash. Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I draft Tyler Higbee, but he's the one that's getting you through to where just bide my time until Harold Fannin is like the Amon-Ra St. Brown of rookie tight ends. Like, bide your time. You don't need multiple, and definitely if you're doing 3 tight end rooms, why the hell would you take 3 floor plays? Take one swing. Try to find one. Remember Jordan Reed, the year he was tight end 1 with Washington? Like, try to find a fucking Jordan Reed. Stop trying to do a bunch of Kate Ottens.
Yeah.
Like find a Jordan Reed.
Yeah. So our team is AJ Brown, Ladd McConkey, Marvin Harrison. We obviously pulled AJ Brown up in order to get the Ladd McConkey pairing.
That's fun.
We get Brees Hall in the 4th round with Travion Henderson. Jawan Jennings, we get Ibuka, Jordan Mason as RB3. Then we double tap QB and get Baker Mayfield and Justin Herbert to build out the stacks with Ibuka and Ladd McConkey at this point. We grab Trey Benson because he is the best running back in this range. And then we get Isaiah Likely, Jalen Wright as our Miami bringback. We get Pat Bryant, Kate Otten to pair with Baker Mayfield. We get Diami Brown, we get Taj Brooks, and then our 3rd tight end is Aronde Gatson. So both of our QBs are double stacks with tight ends. We get Likely as our pure upside tight end. We have Brees Hall, Travion Henderson, and Jordan Mason to man our backfield with Benson, Jalen Wright, and Taj Brooks able to possibly take on bigger roles in their offense. Our wide receivers are stacked, and we still have upside plays with Pat Bryant and Diami Brown. I mean, I guess Ibuka you could consider an upside play, but I think he's going to be on the field earlier than people expect.
He's both. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is Diami. Diami's like a floor play and he's not a rookie upside swing. You were never going to be taking Diami in the 3rd round next year or whatever, but he's like, I mean, he's just an incredible best ball pick. Like, he's going to play. He's going to score fantasy points. If the stuff that we saw at the end of the season is real, he's the price. This is a truly ridiculous price on Diami Brown. So he's perfect. Like, the blend of everything that you did here is awesome.
Yeah, and our anchor wide receivers are AJ Brown, Ladd McConkey, Marvin Harrison, and Juwan.
Oh no, you pulled up AJ Brown. You have AJ Brown, Ladd McConkey, and Marvin Harrison. Oh no, the LeBron.scared.gif. Like, what do we do? Oh no, like, what are we doing? That's it. How is that not a good start?
So it's another one. If you told people, you're like, yeah, my team started AJ Brown, Ladd McConkey, Marvin Harrison.
If you did an auction draft and you got these first 3 guys as your starting wide receivers, would you be upset?
No.
Yeah.
And people would be like, this is a fine team. And then you'd be like, well, it's the only team that has this. I'm not
the only one.
I'm sure it's close.
I don't know. Dude. I would bet. I would bet money right now. Well, I'm not. We'll discuss it next week. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. I think I would bet money. This 4-person. Let's include Brees because I want to include Brees because I'm cheating a little bit. AJ Brown, Ladd, Marv, Brees. This is the only one. That's my bet.
Probably. I mean, it probably is, right? And
I don't know what I'm betting. Someone's going to say hot dogs in the chat, and absolutely not. So I don't know what I'm betting, but we'll figure something out. That's a bet. That's my bet. This is the only one in BBM. Obviously, we won't know, but we can look through folks' opponent draft IQs and see if anybody has one.
Yeah. So I think it's fun. I think we had a couple of good drafts here, different drafts. Talk through some training camp, some high school football, which everyone always wants to hear about.
Did we talk through training? Did we talk through training camp?
A little bit.
I think we're gonna have to change the title of the show after this is over, but that's okay. It was good nonetheless. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good show. But this is the essence of the base. This is the essence of the best ball basement. Essence of the best ball basement is a really hard thing to say.
That's a lot tougher than you think that it is.
But that's what the show is. It's to come by and hang out, talk best ball, talk other stuff. I think we still had a bigger, like a more thought-provoking talk than a lot of other shows do.
Yeah.
No shade, but just like game theory. I think that game theory talk is lacking occasionally, or expanding upon game theory talk. And I think that is something that we do well here at Spike Week, especially on Wednesday nights. If you are not part of the Spike Week Discord or do not have the Spike Week tools, I implore you to at least sign up for the Discord. The premium Discord's $5. You get a link to something called the Lab every Wednesday night. You don't just hear from me and Eric, you hear from all of the names that you see in your lobbies having these discussions amongst multiple people. And if you want to talk about iron sharpening iron, it is absolutely one of I think our tools are number one to help me do what I want to do, but knowing what I want to do comes from discussions like the Lab, right? So I think having those discussions, and it doesn't mean that I agree with everything that's said in the Lab, but it at least gives me the thought of like what they're doing, and maybe I want to tweak it my own way. So I think that's something you should absolutely think about signing up for, is our Discord, so that you can be part of that every Wednesday night at 6 p.m.
I think it's the best. Like, I'm obviously biased, but we were just talking about 2021, having done this for a long time now. I think it's the best platform, the Lab, for just like cultivating ideas. You're not going to solve world hunger in any individual platform, but I find the Lab to be like, there's just every week, dude, like multiple people just like share like a thought, an idea. They throw something at the wall, and I'm like, like you said, I don't always agree with absolutely everything, but there's like a premise to something that it like truly evolves my best ball game.
Yeah,
undoubtedly. And that's hard to find. Like, you can watch a lot of draft streams, and you can read a lot of articles, and you can follow The Athletic, you can follow training camp news, which we didn't do here today. And you're just not going to grow your game as much as like sitting around the campfire, sitting around the bar with a bunch of other best ball sickos, like all like tossing ideas out there. And like, I was thinking about this. What do you think about this? Like, and it's literally 20 to 30 plus different people all just being like, here's what I'm thinking about. What do you think about this? What about this player? What about this news item? And it honestly is like, selfishly, as someone who's and for Rob too, creating content, it's like I feel like I'm like stealing from these people, because they're coming up with like awesome ideas, and I get to use some of it to like build upon it and talk about it when we're here on stream. But the Spike Week community is truly like, I've never seen anything like it. And I've built like fantasy football communities before, and there's nothing like this one. You have to be willing to go to bat for your like shit. Speaking of QJ, Rob and I had like a fucking drag out brawl over QJ like a month ago, where he's telling me QJ is like the best pick on the board, and I'm telling him he's a fucking idiot, and we're go back and forth, and at the end of I think we met in the middle ultimately at the end, like, but I learned something from him. I think he learned something from me, and we learned something from the other people as we discussed that. And what we ultimately decided on was a lot of the shit we talked about here today, with like, I think the Chargers are fucking awesome, and we should just draft the goddamn, like, QJ is a great pick, and Trey Harris is a great pick. And, you learn a lot from talking to other people. And that's really what I think we've cultivated here at Spike Week, as you see in the YouTube chat and in the Discord. So yeah, check those out. And you can join us every Monday here in the basement. Be on the lookout for the latest Legendary Sickos. Apologize for the break. Pinning Pat Kerrane down is like trying to catch a fish out of water. But we finally recorded a new episode of Legendary Sickos, and more of those are going to come. And then of course,
the easiest way to catch a fish when it's out of water. Well,
that's true. Catch a fish. What's the right analogy here? I'm a big analogy guy, as you know. What's the right analogy for, like, I've tried for 3 years to pin down Pat Kerrane, and it ain't fucking happening. So I don't know what the right answer is, but nonetheless, more Legendary Sickos are coming. I don't know. I got nothing else Yes, the community is good because you guys are two great leaders. I don't know if that's true, but we do appreciate it. And thank you guys for hanging out. Come join us next Monday. Come join me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Rob on Sundays for some draft streams. And other than that, you got anything? Hometown Ghost Stories. If you're into some different things that are not best ball related, please, seriously, I've been on an episode of Hometown Ghost Stories, which is probably the worst one of all time. But you got to watch it. It seriously is an awesome show that Rob does on Tuesday nights. Check that out. Anything else you got before you get out of here?
Yeah, just because you brought it up, we're doing a live show in October for Hometown Ghost Stories in Weymouth, Massachusetts. And right now in the month of July, there's an early bird special to get 25% off tickets. So if you're looking for something to do with your significant other, with some buddies, it's at a brewery. The live show's at a brewery, so you get the drink. There's going to be so many more things than just the live podcast, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Use promo code GHOST. Send me a message. I'll send you a link to the tickets. So if you're in the Weymouth, Mass area, highly suggest coming out in October for a live show and drinking.
Love it. Also check out the Fantasy Football subreddit and post in there if you have any additional questions for me. I'm in there still. It's still open. Check those out, and we'll see you guys next Monday. Peace.
Woo! Those were some spicy takes. Want to stay up to date with all of the other spicy takes we're going to have over here at Spike Week? Why don't you press that subscribe button below? You turn notifications on. We draft a team. Boom. You know about it. We have another spicy take. Boom. You know about it. You can be there. You can draft with us. You want to stay up to date? That's how you do it. All right. We'll catch you later next time here at Spike Week.